Welcome to Unwinding with Support Group, a mental health podcast by licensed professionals where we discuss mental health topics from a real-world perspective, all while having a drink. So hang out, have some laughs, enjoy the ride, and maybe learn a bit. Ladies, have you heard about Find the Good brand?
I have not. Tell me more.
Perfect. They are a brand of clothing that we are now partnering with for here at Unwinding the Support Group. Which is cool about them is not only do they have awesome messaging, like, find the good, it's everywhere, but they donate 10% of their profits to the Mental Health Foundation of America. So I find that super cool. You can find their website as findthegoodbrand.com. And what's extra nice is listeners of the podcast here get 10% off when they order clothing from there, just for listening. And your coupon code, guys, will be in the whole message. Welcome to another episode of Unwinding with Support Group. As usual, I'm Arlene. I'm an LPC. Today, I have Mountain Dew. I'm drinking in the middle of the day, so as I have other things to do after this, I don't have wine, guys. Sorry. But today, I have a special guest. I have Ruth Danoff. Ruth is an ADHD advocate and speaker. So welcome with us, Ruth.
Thank you, Arlene. And I am being a little bold and bodacious. And even though it's before noon, I'm having a little sip of Moscato here and there.
Exciting. That is my favorite, to be honest. I usually do have a Moscato.
I like only sweet stuff. If I can taste the alcohol, I'm not going to drink it.
I was like, same here. I'm like, like a dry wine is just not, I'm not a fan.
No, me neither.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for having me. It is a pleasure to join you on your podcast and speak with your audience.
Thank you so much. We're excited to have you here because I'm excited to talk to you about ADHD. It's one of the topics we really haven't dug into yet on the podcast.
Oh.
And really wanting to talk to you a little bit more about like your experience and, being an advocate and all that good stuff. So I think I want to start with you were diagnosed a little bit later in life. Can you tell us what was that like for you? Just, waiting till that later in life point of like, aha.
So I was diagnosed at 50, and people always ask me, gosh, what did you do when you heard the news from your therapist? And how did you feel when you got in your car, and et cetera, et cetera? I don't recall feeling big feelings when I got the news. I still was more curious and confused. And I made an appointment with a psychiatrist so I could start getting on medication. My first day of medication was like a film had been lifted off my brain. For those of you who struggle with have vision problems, which I do to the max, if you get a new pair of glasses, and you can look outside and all of a sudden it's crisp and clear and you can see the outline on a leaf, on a tree. It's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just lifted a fog. And did it solve everything? Absolutely not. I will be, it is how my brain is wired, and I will be working with my brain, my big, beautiful, think outside the box brain, to the day I die, because that's how I am. And I have come to embrace it and accept it, and am finally, in these mid years of my life to later, learning how to wrangle it to my benefit, funnel it into my benefit.
That's awesome. I say this because like I know, right? ADHD often can be a barrier. And I still don't mean that in like it's any different than any other mental health diagnosis, because your symptoms get in the way, right? Feeling depressed, you get that gets in the way,
Yes.
right? You're feeling
Yes.
anxious, it gets in the way. They just get in the way, right? So how have you figured out how to make it work for you?
How to get out of my own way. I'm still working on that one because I get in my own way frequently. I overthink, I overcomplicate, and there are times when I think to myself, how much longer do I have to knock my head against the wall before I realize I am harming myself and my forehead is bleeding? It,
Right?
sometimes you realize it pretty quickly, and sometimes you got to wait till there's blood dripping. I mean, every situation is different.
That's fair. I think one of the most interesting things for people with ADHD is the incomplete processes, right? Um, I'm gonna go do the dishes. And you start doing the dishes, and then all of a sudden you look over and you're like, oh, this towel needs to go in the laundry. So you stop the dishes and then you go to put the towel in the laundry. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I need to do laundry. So then you start a whole little laundry. And then you look down and you're like, oh, these shoes need to get put away. So then you put the shoes away. And while you're over there, you straighten up the whole thing of shoes. And while you're there, you're like, oh, it's dirty. So we dust it too. And then you're like, oh, I found this and it needs to go in its place. And then you go back to the living room because that's the place. And then while you're there, you're like, oh, there's a cup. So now I need to go back to do the dishes. And now you're, oh, fuck, I was doing the dishes.
I couldn't have painted a better picture, babe. I mean, that's it. That is it in the nutshell for a lot of people. And there are days where I can focus more on getting one thing done, moving to the next. Doesn't always happen. And it can be a real challenge. It's called task avoidance, and people think that we are being lazy, and it is we want to get up and do the thing. We want to make the doctor's appointment. We know we need to make the doctor's appointment. There is literally something, I'm not a clinician, so I can't tell you what's going on up here, but there is something that happens in our brain that does not allow us to do it, period. That's just how it is. And neurotypical people, since they don't experience that, can't understand, well, why can't you just, gosh, why can't you just put the darn laundry away? It's been sitting there for days.
Just pick up the phone and make the phone call. Sure. As if I
Those are
hadn't thought
things,
of that before.
right? Oh my gosh. Those are pieces of language you do not want to say to somebody who's neurodivergent, because it will set them off. It will make them take even longer to do the thing.
Yeah.
So unless it's something major, let them get to it when they get to it.
I think that's really good advice. And I really think it's important for people who are more neurotypical to like, okay, listen, I get that you're not grasping why it might be taking someone else 7 days to put away the laundry or to make the doctor's appointment. But also, does that matter to you that much? Let them figure it out. I get
Right,
it if it's a parent and that's your kid and you're like, your room's still not clean, but they'll get to it.
right, right. I'm not a parent, so I grew up in a rather harsh environment. So at this stage in my life, I'm kind of glad I didn't have kids, because I probably, I may have exhibited some behaviors that my parents exhibited that are not helpful.
Yeah.
So I am blessed to have a niece and 5 nephews and 8 greats. So I am a mother to all.
You get to be the fun aunt.
Oh, honey, one of the things that makes me so happy is I am seeing a surge, excuse me, a surge on social media of women talking about how great it is to be solo and no kids,
Yeah.
and the auntie movement,
Hmm.
making people realize how valuable we are in our communities and in our families. And we have been underappreciated for way too long.
Yeah, I can tell you, I don't know where I'd be without mine. Well, she's the best.
Yep. And I live in North Carolina, and moved down here about 10 years ago. This is a great story because my niece, with whom I'm close, had recently gotten married and was living in Durham. And I knew the babies were going to start coming. And so I didn't want to be a 5 hour drive away. So, and it really was an epiphany. I sat up in bed one morning and I said, I need to move. And so I had a conversation with her, just kind of mulling it through and talking it out. And unbeknownst to me, she was already pregnant in that conversation. She
Oh,
just wasn't
crazy.
ready to share the news yet. So, my intuition was right on point, as it normally is.
That's so cool.
Isn't that
That's
great?
so cool. Oh man, that's awesome.
Yep.
So, why did you decide to become an advocate for ADHD?
Great question. I was laid off in August of 24 from what I say is my last W-2 job.
Mm.
And at the time, through panic and fear, etc., I'm trying to find employment again. And I had a conversation with a recruiter, and I had decided that I'm leading with my neurodivergence on, any job interview, everything. And I am happy to say that even in the last 2 years, it has changed a lot to be more mainstream. Not nearly where it needs to be, but I see a difference. And I'm thrilled about that. Anyway, talking to this woman, and I started and said I have ADHD. Well, she had a family member who was going through a difficult time, late diagnosed like myself, and we had a long conversation about what was going on, and the whole family dynamic. And it's always easier to hear things from a disinterested party.
Yeah,
Your friend, your family member, your aunt, your uncle can tell you the same information, and sometimes it will not hit until you hear it from a disinterested party. So we hung up, and I was flying high because I got hit after hit after hit of dopamine in that phone call. And I know one of the reasons I was put on this earth is to serve. And so I hung up and realized that that's what I need to do. I need to be doing support for women who have been late diagnosed. So that was another epiphany. And Not Ruthless was born shortly thereafter. And the name Not Ruthless is because before the age of 50, I was without Ruth. After my diagnosis, Ruth joined, and I am to this day, and hopefully to the day I die, learning about her and helping her grow and having faith and joy.
that's awesome. I love
Thank you.
that.
Thank you.
How how has your diagnosis shifted, like, your perspective for yourself, for life? Because like we knew it was there, but like knowing what it is, like labeling it does change things because
Yes.
it helps you know what to do with it.
Right, right. So interestingly enough, from the time I got my diagnosis to the time I moved to North Carolina was about 2 years. And it wasn't until I moved to North Carolina that I finally got on TikTok and I found my community. I had read stuff, but I didn't really get it. I was talking to people. I did not feel seen. And finding my online community, I finally felt like I belonged for the first time in my life. And, when you get the diagnosis, there is I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody, but huge amount of grief for what could have been.
Mhm.
There's so much to unpack and so much to understand and so much to apologize to yourself for. It explains a lot, and you hopefully are much softer with your self-talk. That took me a long time and a lot of therapy. But I now am parenting the little girl who never fit in, who always felt shame, who was bullied, who was not taken seriously about anything. And she's doing great, and I'm doing great. And I am incredibly grateful to be able to say that to your audience.
That's so awesome to hear. That's
Thank
so
you.
awesome. So I want to say, following that, this is one of the things that I think is most interesting is a lot of women are being diagnosed with ADHD later in life.
Why is that?
I was going to ask you what your thoughts on that are, because I have my own thoughts, but I'm wondering what yours are.
We live in a patriarchal world.
There we go.
Women don't matter. Things are changing. And I'm not being political in any way, shape, or form.
No, it's just factual.
It's just factual and scientific. And it's getting better. It's getting definitely better. There's so much more to do. There, research with women who are older and how hormones are affecting your ADHD, because I speak for myself. My symptoms have done nothing but exaggerate with age. And some of them I have gotten better control over. Some of them I haven't and may never. Only time will tell. And for me, most neurodivergent people are also empaths. And I'm a Gemini. So that adds a whole nother empathic layer to it. I feel very deeply when I feel. And I have very big feelings when I feel. And it's because I carry everybody else's stuff that I am physically in the presence of. And it's exhausting. When I go to any function, whether it's with my family or a business function, anything, I need an entire day to recover because my social battery is so low that, and I will stay when my battery's empty, and that's on me. And you just have to sit and regroup and find your peace to fill your battery back up.
For sure. I agree with that. I think that's important because I think we're doing better as a society with recognizing the introverted nature of I've reached my limit, my social battery is dead, I have to go.
Absolutely.
But recognizing that it is for, neurodivergent people that looks different too. And just from being a neurotypical introvert.
Right. And I can be, like right now, I'm being extroverted in this situation, and I feel quite comfortable. The next situation, I might not. And I have always seen my life as situational. How I react, what my responses are, etc. in this situation might be totally different in a very similar situation. You just don't know. And that's
Like,
that's just human nature.
it is. I think that's true. I think there's also, I think introverts can be extroverted, and I think that has gotten lost until recently, where there's the introverted extrovert now. They're like,
And now we've got all these terms that I
but at core, there are a lot more people who are introverted but can be extroverted, because you have to be in society. You can't just hide in the corner, even though that might be what you want to do all the time. So most introverts learn how to be extroverts because society demands that, and how to turn
absolutely.
that on. So
Yep. And
it's more a function of necessity
that,
than desire.
right. But the world is changing, and the earth's energy is changing. And I have had my spiritual awakening over the last couple of years since I got laid off. That's been a huge process. And so I have been very self isolated. And, I've always been okay to be on my own because I'm an introvert and I need my alone time. And I love it even more now and need it even more now. Um, and that's okay.
It is.
I have the majority of my family members, as the saying goes, have never met a stranger. They love being around people and meeting new people and, talking and getting to know. And that's great. I love that for them. But that's not me.
Yeah,
I'm the
I
one
get
that not so much anymore, but in my younger adult days, if I went to a function where I didn't know anybody, I am zeroing in on a kid or dog, and that is where all of my attention will be.
Listen, if there's a dog somewhere,
Forget
listen, I don't know why there are people there.
it. I just
Oh,
need.
you brought the dog? Cool, you can go now.
I got your baby. Nothing. No, I will take a bullet before your baby gets harmed.
It's fine. You can just go now. The
Yes,
dog and I will be just fine.
I've done
We'll
my
go
due.
on
I've
walks. We'll
right.
do
I've
stuff.
showed up to the party. Give me your dog and leave me alone.
Exactly. Me and the dog are great. That's good. I would much rather hang out with the dog too.
Amen, sister.
Which is funny
Amen.
because I spend my whole life talking to people one on one, which is probably why I would rather spend it with the dog in my free time.
One of the hardest parts of my spiritual awakening, was I lost my baby shortly into it. And I'm just now getting to a point, it was a year ago, December, that I can talk about it without crying. And the next conversation, I may bawl. I mean, who knows?
Yeah,
I thought about him last night and I was bawling my eyes out. That nearly broke me. And I understood why it needed to be done, both spiritually and in real life. He was ill. But I believe that the universe needed me to be solo, and not have any distractions. And that when you have a pet, there is a 24/7 underlying anxiety of where's my baby? Are they okay? Do they need anything? Oh my gosh, I'm traveling. Who's going to take care of him? Do I, all that kind of stuff. And I will say it's been very refreshing not to have that responsibility. And as soon as things settle down for my business and some shifts are being made, I'm going to have another baby.
I mean, I get it. I have 4 dogs and 4 cats. I'm a pet person.
I'll just come to your house. I'll be in heaven.
I'm like, listen, that's what I'm saying. You got a dog? I'm good. I'm good.
Nothing makes me happier than laying in the grass and just having the dogs jump all over me.
Exactly.
Oh,
Good time.
yeah,
Great
it is
time.
a good time.
Wow. So, uh, so you support women,
I support women.
which I love. How do you support women who are navigating like their later life realizations of ADHD, whatever else is going on? How do you go about helping them out?
Well, my website, www.notruthless.com, and my Instagram is at notruthlessadhd, and also on the other social platforms. And you can book time with me on my website, and you will have the choice of, I've got some preset topics that we can kind of talk about. But normally, women just need an empathetic, compassionate, understanding shoulder to lean on, because nobody else gets it. I mean, if
Yeah.
they're lucky, they have people in their life that get it, and that's fantastic. But most of the time, especially being diagnosed late in life, because you start changing. I am not the same person I was 2 years ago. And a lot of that is because of my spiritual awakening, but that has helped me build my confidence, to do everything that I've been doing. And I want to help all women feel that way.
Awesome. What are some of the common things women talk to you about?
You know, leaving your keys in the cat food bin, um, could be sleep. Sleep. There are so many comorbidities with ADHD, and I have experienced a lot of them. The biggest one for me has been sleep. Oh my gosh, it just made so much sense when I got my diagnosis. I've had issues with sleep since I was a child. And about 3 years ago, and I've had countless sleep studies and talked to countless sleep doctors and been on pretty much every sleep medication on the market. And I am so fortunate that I was ready to give up and just accept that I was always going to run on 50% my entire
Mm.
life, because that's what I'd been doing. And I went to see a new psychiatrist to address the sleep issue. They put me on a antidepressant that is sometimes used for sleep if taken at night. It was my miracle. I remember the first night I took it, I slept through the night and I wasn't exhausted when I woke up. So, anybody out there who is struggling with these issues, please keep going until you find something that works for you. I also have apnea, and because I'm claustrophobic, I can't do any of the face stuff. So there's a product called a Inspire implant.
Mm.
It goes in your chest, and then I have a little remote that I just hold to my chest at night, and it turns it on. But the misconception is that doesn't help me sleep. What that does is the same thing as a CPAP machine does. It keeps your tongue forward so you don't stop breathing. Um, but it does help, but it's not a solution for insomnia. So I'm just loving life, being able to sleep at night. It is the most important thing for anybody's health, is to be able to sleep.
It is, because it's where everything resets. Your tolerance for everything gets reset. Your whole body. So it's
Yep.
the most important for sure.
Yep. So I'm going to ask you, because I feel like I got off track. Please ask me the question again.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Common things that women ask that you talk about.
Oh, what can boost their mood? How can you chase dopamine in a healthy way? And for me, I walk. I'm out in nature, and or by the water. And I mean, I think those things are true for a lot of neurotypical people also. Um, but I feel healed when I am in nature. And because of my body temperature dysregulation, which is related to ADHD, anything over about 73 is hot to me, and I'm not going to walk. So that is challenging. And this morning I woke up and it was cool outside, and I jumped for joy and I quickly got dressed and I got out for my walk, which I haven't been able to do for about 3 weeks. So it was a good morning. It was a really good morning.
We like when those happen because
Yeah,
it's
and
been
it's
warm.
just a simple thing.
Own your stigma. You know, what a great phrase. This is a company that we now partner with. Their mission to reduce the stigma around mental health. They have really cool apparel and clothing, and they donate proceeds to local charities that support and provide to people struggling with mental illness. Again, since we're partnering with people who listen to this podcast, get a nice 15% off, right? Just for listening, what you purchase. Coupon code will be in the messaging for you. So that way you can just click it and go. My favorite is coffee, dogs, and mental health, because all of those things are my favorite. So, but whatever one is yours, um, check it out. But again, own your stigma. We like brands that are working with reducing those mental health stigmas. No, those are good things. Being able to do the things that, bring the joy in good, healthy ways, because that is something I think is important that I do think often gets overlooked for ADHD.
Yep.
Is how to hit that dopamine in good ways that isn't just that constant, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Right. Spending, clicking, 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 and spending, some of the negative things are, and I've experienced these and still have to keep an eye out for them, is overspending. Because clicking, spending, buying gives us dopamine. And I've had challenges with food since I was a child, so
Yeah.
because sugar gives us dopamine.
It does. So,
Yep.
no, I think those are really good, important things to find, like the things that are a little healthier and
Yeah.
things that you enjoy that are a little more stable.
Right. Right.
So, what now? I'm gonna ask this question knowing everybody is different, but we were talking about decision paralysis and how tasks come in spurts sometimes. What is one tip that you give out on how to manage those things?
Here's an example. I had gotten some hand soaps from Amazon, and the package it came 3. So I was out in my bathroom upstairs. So I immediately took one up into my bathroom. The other 2 sat at the bottom of the stairs for about 2 weeks. I walked by them, didn't think anything about it, just sat there. So my advice would be to just at least, and this, I'm saying this metaphorically, but it was literally to me, pick up one of them. If you can't pick up both of them, pick up one of them and take it to where it needs to be living. And that's a win because there's only one left now. And even that tiniest action will make you proud of yourself and give you dopamine. And maybe you'll go and take the next one right away, or maybe it'll be tomorrow, or maybe it'll be another 3 weeks. Who cares? Is it an emergency? No. Especially if you live solo. Really, who the fuck cares?
I mean, literally, I might fall over it and then I would probably take care of it because I'm clumsy as shit. But that's a different story.
Oh, here's a good one. And I sent my nephew a video this morning because he knows I do this. One of my nephews, I was taking my walk, and we have neurodivergent people have spatial awareness issues. So I'm constantly bumping into crap, or falling over. I can't tell you how many times I have the dishwasher open and I had just put a plate in and then I turn around and fall over it. It happens. That's how it goes. So when I walk down a sidewalk, I will go to one side. I will look like I am drunk or high or something. And it doesn't happen on every single walk, but sometimes I'm just veering, one way. And if it's just right, if it's just me, it's no big deal. But when there are other people around, it can be challenging. So
just tell them you're practicing a serpentine pattern.
That's awesome. Sometimes I joke and I'll say, I just got my new feet today. I'm still breaking them in.
Exactly. It's like, listen, serpentine pattern.
That's exactly right. And then sometimes, and I don't do this anymore because it harmed me. I am super conscientious about it. But I will fall because I don't pick my feet up when I'm walking, and I will trip. And the last time I did it was a couple of years ago, thank goodness. But I fell twice in a couple of week period, and I really messed up my shoulder. And yeah, but that's how it goes.
Listen, I joke all the time that I have talent because I fall up the stairs much more often than I fall down the stairs.
Well, and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Better up than down, sweetie.
Listen, it takes talent to go up. Because anybody can fall down the stairs.
Especially if you're carrying something, right? And it's late at night, you're tired.
Listen, I can trip over air and fall up the stairs. I
get it.
Big things happen over here. I'd like to say I tripped over a cat, a dog. Nope.
It was just air.
Just the air. The air just jumped up and got me.
The air was really thick right there. And
it was. It was really tricky in that one area.
So all of a sudden, block of thick air that I just didn't see.
I hate when that happens. I also hate when doors just jump out at me.
Really? Right? Where did that come from?
I find that incredibly rude.
The nerve.
Listen, I don't know why you're jumping at me, but it could be nice if you just stayed where you're supposed to be.
Or do you think you could announce yourself? Say, hey, I'm here.
Quite rude. Nobody asked you to move. It's the worst.
Oh, probably.
He's like, where'd you get that bruise at? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, no clue.
I don't know. I could have fallen down. I have dogs. Who knows?
Yes, the mystery bruises. Yep. They are real.
They are very real. I stopped trying to figure it out a long time ago.
Good for you.
I'm like, I don't know. It's just there. I probably have like 4 of them on my legs and at least a couple on my arms right at this exact moment. I don't know why they're there. They just are.
Same. And I'm sure, excuse me, with your dogs, it happens even more frequently.
Yeah.
Because you'll be going straight through the door and they'll run up and make you hit the wall or something.
Well, and I have a Rottweiler German Shepherd, and she's a giant fucking baby. So she jumps on me regularly because she believes she's 2 pounds.
Of course.
When she's 60.
Yeah.
And so she will go start shit with the other dogs. And the minute they retaliate, she's running. She's like, save me. I'm like, you started shit. She's like, not me.
Realize your size. Stand up for yourself.
She's like, no. Oh my God, it's your soul. You're such a big baby.
Oh gosh, I love
So,
them all. I am that person, and I have done this. That will be not a major highway. I won't do that. But if it's a local road and there's an adorable dog that somebody's walking, I will pull over and say, "May I pet your dog?"
yeah, I understand that.
See, that should be just totally normalized.
I don't know why it's not.
Right.
Also, people asking.
Oh,
That also should be the normal part too.
yes. Never, ever just walk up to a dog because you don't know.
Yeah, no.
It's common courtesy to say, "May I pet your dog?"
I joke that I have 2 dogs that don't care about consent and 2 dogs that care about consent.
I love the way you put that. Oh,
They're
boy.
like, these 2 are like, I love you. I don't know who you are. I will love you and I will pet. Sure, go ahead. And the other 2 are like, you're suspicious. Oh, you want to touch me? I don't think so.
Yeah, my last baby was a rescue, and I didn't get him until he was 3. And he had obviously been abused by a man because he could not stand men. And he was a biter.
Yeah.
So I had to be real careful because I didn't know who was going to smell off to him and he was going to bite. So, yeah.
Yep.
And I didn't, people who blame the dogs for poor behavior, I want to wring their neck.
I know.
It is always the human's responsibility. Every single dog is born an angel, and it is a human that makes them otherwise.
I concur. I agree. Well, Ruth, I know you've said it before, but where can the people find you?
People can find me on Instagram and the other socials at Not Ruthless ADHD, all one word. And my website is www.notruthless.com. And hopefully within the next 3 months, my memoir, Not Ruthless, Dancing Through Doubt, will be on Amazon.
Oh, so sweet.
So keep an eye out for that. Yeah, it's about ADHD. It's about my experience. It's my story. Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. It's very exciting.
Awesome. Well, you guys, I will make life easier and put all those links in the chat as well.
Thank you.
Because I like to make your guys' life simpler. So you could just click. So but Ruth, I appreciate you being here today, and I love the conversation.
Absolutely, Arlene. It has been a bunch of fun, and you never know where the conversations are going to go, but this flowed beautifully, and I had a great time, and what a way to start my Friday.
Awesome. I never know where my conversations are going to go on this podcast.
Right, you just don't know.
I never know. The audience. That's why I'm almost like the audience is like, oh, she just goes random places. I do.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's okay.
Random rants about pockets. Who knows what happens?
Love it. I'll get on a random rant with you anytime, baby.
Listen, me and pockets, I have a whole spiel. But honestly, Ruth, this is great.
Hearing more about that.
Oh, listen, if I could just get pockets on every piece of clothing I own, I would live my best life.
Oh, amen, sister.
So,
yep.
But again, I really do appreciate it, Ruth. It was great to have you on. As for everybody else, give us a like, a follow, share with your enemies, your friends, your family. Keep it spicy. But give us a comment, all the things. We appreciate you hanging out. Thanks for listening to another episode of Unwinding the Support Group. Follow us on Substack. Give us a like, a follow. Give us a comment. Tell us what you hated, what you like, what you want us to talk about next. Let everybody know where they can find us too. But thanks for hanging out with us once again.